The Whitmore estate stretched for acres outside Charleston, South Carolina. Marble floors, grand staircases, portraits in gilded frames. To visitors, it looked like a palace, a symbol of wealth that never ended. But for Ethan Whitmore, 6 years old, the mansion was a cage. Blond-haired, pale-skinned, his legs fragile as porcelain, Ethan had never walked more than a trembling stumble. Doctors came and went with polished shoes and heavy words. Neurological delay, developmental disorder, motor dysfunction, possibly permanent. His father, Richard Whitmore, poured fortunes into clinics, therapies, specialists. Each left the same verdict: your son will never walk like other children. So Ethan remained behind the windows. He sat in silence, watching birds outside, while his crutches leaned unused in the corner like cruel reminders. His mother had long gone, running off with another man. His father buried himself in work, rarely home before midnight. Loneliness became Ethan's only constant companion. Then she arrived. Her name was Marissa Johnson, a black woman in her mid-30s. She had been hired as the new maid, dressed neatly in a Navy uniform and crisp apron. To Ethan, she was just another adult who would clean and eventually disappear. But Marissa didn't rush past him. She noticed things: the way his small hands trembled near the crutches, the way his eyes slid away whenever anyone mentioned outside. The first afternoon she found him sitting on the wide staircase, legs dangling. "Why aren't you out in the garden?" she asked gently. Ethan shrugged. "No reason." "You don't like the sun?" "I don't like falling." She tilted her head. "You fall often?" "Every time I try." Marissa sat beside him. Her voice was low, steady. "Then that means every time you also get back up, doesn't it?" Ethan blinked. No one had ever said it like that. From that day, Marissa stayed close. At lunch, she asked about his favorite games. At night, she read stories when his father stayed late. Slowly, Ethan began to speak, not about doctors or pain, but about small things. The robins he counted from the window, the heroes he imagined in his mind, the dreams he had never dared to share. One afternoon, she carried his crutches over. "Let's try again," she said. His chest tightened. "The doctor said I'll never be normal." Marissa crouched, her dark eyes meeting his. "Normal is boring. Who cares about normal? I care about you." His lip trembled. "Why? You're new. You don't even know me." Her throat tightened, but she smiled. "Because I've seen loneliness before. I know what it does to a child. I won't let it keep you prisoner." He stared at her a long time. "You won't leave like the others?" "I promise," she said firmly. "As long as you try, I stay." It was the first promise Ethan let himself believe. Days turned into weeks. Step by shaky step, she coaxed him into the garden. When he cried, she held him. When he fell, she clapped anyway. Every fall means you tried, and that makes you stronger than yesterday. One rainy morning they stopped at a puddle along the stone path. Ethan froze, gripping his crutches until his knuckles whitened. "I can't," he whispered. "I'll slip." Marissa untied her apron and spread it across the water. "Now it's not a puddle. It's a bridge. Cross it." His head shook violently. "What if I fall in front of you? What if I look stupid?" "You could never look stupid to me," she said softly. "And if you fall, I'll fall with you." "But I believe you won't." "Not this time." His chest heaved. His eyes darted from the apron to her face. "You promise?" Her voice cracked with emotion. "I promise." Slowly, he lifted his foot. His whole body shook. The crutches wobbled. Panic rose. "I'm here," Marissa said quickly, steadying his arms. "Look, you've put one foot down, now the other." With a sob, he dragged a second foot forward. Both shoes landed on the cloth. I didn't fall," he gasped. Tears blurred Marissa's vision. "No, Ethan." You walked, his lips parted in wonder. "Really? Did you see?" I walked. She hugged him tightly. "I saw every second, and I'll see every step that comes after. You're not alone anymore. Not ever again." From the porch, Richard Whitmore stood frozen. His polished shoes scraped the stone as he stepped forward. For 6 years, his boy had never moved more than a stumble. Every doctor, every therapist had said the same: "He'll never walk." Yet here was Ethan, trembling but moving. And beside him was not a specialist, but the maid who had been in the house barely 2 months. "Ethan!" Richard choked, hurrying down the steps. His briefcase slipped, papers spilling into the wet grass. He fell to his knees before his son, gripping his small shoulders. "My boy, you're walking." Ethan's chest heaved with excitement. "Daddy, I thought I couldn't. I thought I'd never do it. But Marissa told me I could. She didn't let me give up." Richard's eyes darted to her. She knelt a step behind, apron damp, hands raw from steadying him, head lowered as though ashamed to be noticed. "You," Richard whispered. "You did this?" Marissa swallowed. "It was Ethan, sir. I only believed in him when no one else did." Richard's throat burned. "Don't downplay it. You've done what money and doctors couldn't. You gave him courage. You gave him life. Daddy," Ethan tugged his sleeve, "can Marissa stay forever?" "She promised she won't leave. She's the only one who believes I can be strong." Marissa's eyes filled. "Ethan, don't put me in trouble." Richard cut her off. "Trouble? Clara, you've saved my son. You've given me back hope. If anyone deserves honor here, it's you." She shook her head. "I didn't do it for honor. No child should feel broken. Ethan isn't broken. He's brave." Richard's chest rose sharply. He brushed a trembling hand over his son's blonde hair. "Son, listen. You are not broken. You never were. I was the broken one, for believing what others said, for thinking money could replace love. And Marissa showed me that Ethan's eyes shone. So she can stay?" Richard turned to Marissa, eyes wet. "Stay. From today you are not a maid in this house. You are family, and I will treat you as such." Gasps rose from servants watching at the doorway. Marissa staggered back, shaking her head. "Sir, please don't say things you'll regret." "I never wanted. I regret only one thing," Richard said fiercely, "that it took me this long to see the truth. My wealth, my power, none of it mattered. You gave my son something I thought impossible, and I will never forget it." Ethan clutched her apron. "Daddy's right. You're not just the maid anymore. You're my Marissa, my family." Marissa pulled him into her arms, sobbing openly. "Ethan, you'll never be alone again. Not as long as I'm here." Richard placed his hand on both their shoulders, his own voice breaking. "From this day, nothing in this home will be the same. My son can walk. My heart is changed. And it's all because of you." Behind them the mansion loomed. But for once the wealth meant nothing. What mattered was on that garden path. A boy who had taken his first steps, a maid who refused to give up, and a father whose soul was remade in a single moment. And for Richard Whitmore, the man who believed money could buy everything, the most shocking truth was this: the miracle came not from a doctor or a therapist, but from a black maid whose belief lit the fire no fortune could.